What if I told you that most women's deepest emotional patterns aren't loud or obvious? They're subtle, quiet, and often misunderstood by men who confuse access with intimacy. Here's the Stoic truth: a woman's emotional weaknesses aren't flaws, they're sacred invitations, not to be used, but to be understood. Because when you understand what she hides beneath confidence, silence, or strength, you build connection, not control. Most men respond to surface behavior. They react to what's said, not what's felt. But the Stoic man is different. He doesn't manipulate. He observes with stillness, listens with depth, and responds without ego. Right now, you may be misreading her independence as disinterest, her teasing as rejection, or her softness as submission. But beneath all of it is a coded emotional world, one that only a man of emotional presence can truly access. If you're ready to understand the 10 subtle emotional patterns women carry and how to respect them with calm clarity, like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment. I protect what I understand. Number 1. Why women chase the feeling, not the man. She doesn't miss your face. She misses how it felt when her heart beat a little faster around you. She's not addicted to your voice, but to the emotion that came with hearing it. And here's the truth that most men ignore. Women chase emotional escapism, not stability. In a world of routines and predictability, she's searching for something that disrupts her emotional pattern, something she can feel, and that something is rarely found in the safe, always available, ever agreeable man. It's found in the one who evokes curiosity, challenge, and emotional contrast. You are either the man she texts out of politeness, or the one she thinks about at midnight because something about you made her feel alive. The Stoics weren't emotionless. They mastered emotions. They knew that experience matters more than appearance, and that presence is more powerful than performance. Seneca didn't ask men to be dull. He taught them to choose how they impact the world emotionally. So ask yourself, what does your presence do to a woman? Does it stimulate, disrupt, inspire? Or does it fade into the background like another soft, safe voice? The Stoic man understands that creating emotional intensity is not manipulation, it's leadership. He tells stories, he offers contrast, he challenges ideas. He makes her feel something that pulls her out of the ordinary, a smile she wasn't expecting, a conversation that turns her beliefs upside down, a calm confidence that makes her heart race. This doesn't mean you're unstable or unpredictable. It means you carefully design emotional space. You don't reveal everything in one sitting. You leave moments hanging. Let the silence stretch. Make her wonder what you're really thinking. That's not distance. That's depth. Women crave excitement, but not chaos. They want intensity, but not drama. They want to feel like they've stepped into a world, your world, that operates with a different rhythm, a different texture, a different emotional frequency. When you master this, she won't just desire you. She'll need the emotional contrast you bring. So don't aim to impress her mind. Aim to imprint her nervous system. Now comment below, I don't chase, I create emotional impact. Number 2. Why women respect the man who knows how to say no. She won't always admit it, but she's waiting for you to hold the line. Not because she wants control, but because she wants to feel yours. She wants to test the edges of your strength. Not to break you, but to see if you bend. And when you don't, that's when her respect begins. That's when real attraction deepens. In today's culture of constant agreement, where men are taught to please at all costs, the rarest kind of power is boundaries. The kind that aren't shouted but lived. The kind that don't need to be defended because they simply are. When you say no without apology. When you change plans because your mission takes priority. When you don't allow chaos to flood your peace, you signal something few men ever do. I value myself more than your temporary approval. That's what she feels. Not in your words, but in your energy. According to Stoic philosophy, freedom isn't doing whatever you want. It's living according to your values, regardless of the noise. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That mastery is what she finds magnetic. She may push you, she may test your limits. But deep down, she's craving the steadiness of a man who holds firm. A man who doesn't rush to fix her discomfort, who doesn't fear her disappointment. Who listens, reflects, and then calmly chooses his truth. This is not cruelty, it's clarity. It's the strength to lead without control, and it makes her feel something she rarely feels around men, safe and drawn in at the same time. Because here's the truth. If you're too easy to sway, she can't trust you to lead. Boundaries aren't barriers, they are the shape of your worth. They tell her without a word. This is the standard, and I won't shrink for anyone. And when you live that truth unapologetically, you no longer need to convince her of your value. She feels it. Now speak out and comment below. I lead with boundaries, not permission. Number 3, why uncertainty awakens. Her desire. If she knows exactly what you'll do, say and feel next, you've already lost her curiosity. And once curiosity dies, attraction soon follows. The truth is simple, but often misunderstood. Women don't fall for what's predictable. They fall for what's emotionally alive. What makes her heart skip isn't your constant presence, but your mysterious absence. It's not your clarity, it's your complexity. And in that space of not knowing, desire is born. This doesn't mean playing games, it means creating contrast. The Stoic man doesn't offer chaos. He offers unpredictability with depth. He controls the uncertainty he creates. Marcus Aurelius himself said, "Confine yourself to the present." And in the present, the Stoic man isn't worried about managing perception. He's living fully. That's what creates natural unpredictability. One day, you're fully present, eyes locked, listening deeply. The next, you're silent, immersed in your craft. She doesn't know what's coming next, not because you're avoiding her, but because your life is too rich to be choreographed. That rhythm makes her lean in, wonder, anticipate. The man who replies instantly over-explains or is always available. He offers safety, but no tension. She doesn't need to guess, so she stops feeling. The emotional pulse fades and you become just another man. She appreciates, but doesn't desire. You want her invested. Don't overfeed her comfort. Give her space to wonder. Space to ask, what's on his mind? Why didn't he reply right away? Does he miss me? Or is he too focused to notice? This gentle uncertainty, when done with intention, creates emotional gravity. Not because you're distant, but because you're disciplined. And in that discipline, she doesn't just see mystery, she sees value. Because the man who doesn't overshare, who chooses when to speak and when to hold back, who lives on his own time, he becomes an emotional puzzle she wants to solve. So be warm, but not predictable. Be present, but not routine. And let her lean into the thrill of not quite knowing you yet. Now comment below, I am calm, but never predictable. Number 4. Why women gravitate toward the man who leads without needing control. She doesn't want to be dominated, she wants to be led. There's a difference, and it's profound. The man who leads doesn't bark orders, doesn't crave compliance, and doesn't chase agreement. He walks into the room already knowing who he is, and that confidence, that calm decisiveness creates a gravitational pull. She feels it before he even speaks. Leadership isn't about making all the decisions. It's about being the one who makes direction feel safe. A man who can say, "We're going here not to control, but to offer clarity, who suggests a plan not because he's rigid, but because he's not afraid to choose. In Stoicism, this is called courage with integrity. Marcus Aurelius led an empire not by pleasing everyone, but by embodying logos, the rational principle of nature and truth. The Stoic man leads his relationships the same way, with purpose, calm, and presence. Because women are not drawn to passivity, they're drawn to certainty and motion. A man who can look her in the eyes and say, "I'll be there at 7. We're trying that new place you mentioned. A man who voices his opinion with conviction, even if it challenges hers not to win. But to be honest, a man who listens adapts when necessary, but never hesitates out of fear. That's not arrogance, that's grounded masculinity. When you wait for her to decide everything, you force her into the masculine role, and over time that kills polarity, she loses trust in your direction. She questions your strength. She wonders why she feels so exhausted around you. But when you lead with poise, without ego, something shifts. She softens. She surrenders tension. Because now she doesn't just feel attracted, she feels safe. And that kind of safety, it's addictive. So don't wait to be told how to lead. Lead because you've already done the inner work to know what matters. Now speak out and comment below. I lead with direction, not domination. Number 5, why she wants the man who doesn't need her. It sounds paradoxical, but it's the truth. Few men want to hear the less you need her, the more she's drawn to you. Not because she wants to feel unimportant, but because she wants to join a life already full of purpose, not become the purpose itself. You see, when a man makes a woman the center of his existence, he unknowingly hands over his power. Every decision starts to revolve around her mood, her schedule, her approval, and though it seems romantic on the surface, beneath it is a deep loss of masculine energy, of the direction and autonomy that once made him attractive. What she's really drawn to is your orbit, your mission, your rhythm, your silence. She doesn't want to be your oxygen. She wants to breathe beside a man who's already alive. The Stoics knew this intimately. Epictetus taught. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. When your emotional world is ruled by her reactions, you're no longer free. You're a puppet pulled by the strings of her affection. But when you detach not out of coldness, but out of strength, you become whole. You work out not to impress her, but because it aligns with your discipline. You read not to seem smart, but because your mind is sacred. You build a life so meaningful that her presence adds to it, but never defines it. That's when she starts leaning in. Not because she pities your loneliness, but because she's curious. What kind of man is this who seems already complete? You want to be remembered. Be the man who doesn't crumble in her absence. Be the man whose silence doesn't beg, it echoes with purpose. When she sees you grounded, passionate, and present without her needing to be your center, that's when she wants to earn a place by your side. Now comment below, I choose connection, but never dependence. Number 6, why selective men are the ones. Women chase. It's not how many women you attract, it's which ones you let in. And more importantly, how rarely you let them in. In a world where attention is cheap and validation is handed out like candy, the man who is selective becomes powerful. Not because he's playing hard to get, but because he is hard to get. His attention is earned, not given away for free. And that changes everything. Most men seek to impress as many women as possible. They compliment too quickly, respond too eagerly, and engage too often. They mistake generosity for magnetism. But here's what they don't realize: when your attention is everywhere, it starts to mean nothing. Women are drawn to men who hold their standards, who don't chase beauty but value substance, who don't react to every smile but pause long enough to evaluate it. This isn't arrogance, it's self-respect, and self-respect is seductive. Stoicism teaches that true freedom lies in discernment. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the things you think about determine the quality of your mind. In love that translates to this, the people you choose determine the quality of your energy. A Stoic man observes, he listens. He stays silent in rooms where most men would speak. He does not flatter to be liked. He affirms only what's genuine. And when he finally offers a compliment or attention, it lands with impact because it's rare and real. This creates a different dynamic. She no longer takes your presence for granted. She works to earn it. She watches what you value and seeks to align. Not because she's performing, but because your restraint raises the bar. Being selective doesn't mean being cold. It means you know your worth and protect it. So, be warm, be kind, but never be available to everyone. Because the man who is generous with his energy might be liked, but the man who is selective, he's remembered. Now comment below, my attention is earned, not given away. Number 7. Why she craves the emotional highs, even if she doesn't admit it. She says she wants stability, peace. A good man, and she might even believe it. But deep in her nervous system, something else is wired, a craving for contrast. A hunger for emotional highs that make her feel alive. It's not drama she wants. It's emotional variety, the light tease before the compliment, the moment of doubt before the reassurance, the pause before your kiss. Predictability soothes her logic, but unpredictability lights up her heart. This is where most men fail in trying to be safe. They become dull. In trying to be perfect, they become forgettable. They give her everything up front, eliminate all friction and confuse peace with passivity. But what she remembers, what she feels, is tension movement. Surprise. This is not about manipulating emotions, it's about leading the emotional dance the way a composer builds music, rise, fall, silence, crescendo. You don't manufacture chaos, you introduce contrast. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus didn't advocate for numbness. He taught response over reaction. To a Stoic, drama isn't indulged, but emotional presence is orchestrated. You tease, then affirm. You pull back, then re-engage. You offer space, then closeness. And all of it is done not out of fear, but from a calm inner core that knows feelings are power when you guide them with integrity. When you do this right, she feels the aliveness without confusion. She trusts the safety beneath the tension. Because you're not reacting, you're leading. So flirt challenge, step back when needed, let her feel the contrast of missing you, not because you're absent, but because you're deliberate. That dynamic doesn't make you difficult. It makes you unforgettable. Now comment below, I don't avoid emotion, I lead it. Number 8. Why mystery makes her stay when logic tells her to leave you, told her everything. You made your feelings crystal clear. You shared your past, your fears, your next move, and still she pulled away. Why? Because what captivates a woman isn't information, it's exploration. The man who reveals too much too soon leaves nothing for her to discover, and discovery is the lifeblood of attraction. You see, women don't fall for facts, they fall for the feeling of uncovering you, of peeling back layers, of realizing that even after weeks or months, there's still more to learn. More depth, more silence that invites curiosity. And when a man lacks that subtlety, when every thought becomes text, every emotion becomes a speech, something dies her fascination. The Stoics taught restraint, not repression. Marcus Aurelius didn't share his wisdom to seek approval he wrote in a private journal for himself. That's the kind of inner world women are drawn to. A mind that's rich but reserved. A soul that's visible but never fully in reach. Being mysterious isn't about acting distant. It's about not performing. It's allowing your silence to be as loud as your words, letting your gaze, your pause, your energy speak before your mouth does. Because when she can't fully read you, when she has to slow down and feel her way through your presence, she invests. She becomes emotionally involved. She starts to wonder, what's he thinking? What's behind that calm? You don't owe her a constant explanation. You owe her an authentic experience. And that experience is best delivered through layers, not a flood. So say less, hold more. Let her discover you gradually like pages in a book. She doesn't want to finish. Because once she knows everything, she's no longer intrigued. Now comment below, I am read slowly, never all at once. Number 9, why walking away makes you irresistible. Nothing commands more respect and quiet obsession than a man who's willing to leave, not out of ego, not as a strategy, but from a place of unshakable self-worth. When you stay in situations where you're not respected, when you tolerate inconsistency, disinterest, or disrespect just to keep the connection. You teach her something dangerous. Your love is for sale, and when your love is cheap, your presence loses its weight. But when a man calmly walks away without begging, threatening, or explaining, he doesn't create fear, he creates reverence. This is the Stoic man's edge. Epictetus said, "Never depend on the admiration of others. There is no strength in it. Real strength comes from knowing when to stay and when to go, from choosing dignity over desire, from understanding that your energy is sacred and not everyone is ready to receive it." Here's what she feels when you walk away with peace. Maybe I took him for granted. Maybe he had more depth than I saw. Why didn't he fight for me? And why does that make me want him more? You don't leave to manipulate. You leave because staying would mean betraying yourself. You don't storm out. You simply stop showing up where you're not valued. That silence, that calm detachment echoes louder than any confrontation ever could. And paradoxically, it often draws her back, not because you pushed, but because your absence whispered what your words never said. I will not shrink to be chosen. That's power. That's value. That's the kind of man a woman remembers and regrets losing. So let her feel your absence. Not as punishment, but as proof of your standards. Because when you know your worth, walking away isn't hard. It's natural. Now comment below, I walk with peace, even if it means walking alone. Number 10. Why women chase the men who challenge them. Compliments feel nice, agreement feels safe, but challenge, that's what makes her come alive. You want to be admired. Compliment her. You want to be remembered. Challenge her. Women aren't drawn to comfort alone. They're drawn to growth, and growth doesn't happen in echo chambers. It happens when someone sees more in them and dares to pull it forward. That someone is the man who challenges her with intention, not dominance. A man who doesn't nod to everything she says, who questions her assumptions, who playfully teases, pushes, provokes not to undermine, but to engage her spirit. Why? Because challenge creates emotional friction, and friction creates investment. A woman can be adored by 10 agreeable men and forget them all. But the one man who made her think, who made her feel stretched, who made her laugh and blush and fight in the same hour, that's the man she can't stop thinking about. Stoicism doesn't mean being emotionless. It means being anchored. It gives you the strength to stand in tension without breaking it. Marcus Aurelius didn't avoid hard truths. He welcomed them, and that's what made him a leader. You must do the same in your relationships. Challenge her worldview, ask deeper questions. Say, I don't see it that way. Here's why, not to win, but to wake her up. Because when she feels challenged, she feels seen. When she feels seen, she feels drawn in. And when she feels drawn in, she fights for your attention, because now it means something. So don't fear disagreement. Don't water down your edge to be liked. Polarity isn't built in comfort, it's built in contrast. And if you can hold that tension with playfulness and presence, you become unforgettable. Now comment below, I don't flatter, I awaken. You came here looking for female weakness. What you found is a mirror. Because how you respond to a woman's hidden vulnerability reveals the strength of your own. These are the moments when she opens up but looks away. When she jokes to mask insecurity. When she challenges you, hoping you stay steady. When she retreats, praying you won't react. When she shares something small, hoping you feel the weight beneath it. The average man uses these openings to gain control. But the Stoic man, he doesn't take advantage, he builds trust. He doesn't need to dominate. He chooses to protect. Carl Jung reminded us that the unconscious speaks in symbols, and every time she opens the door to her softness, she's handing you a symbol. Here is the part of me I don't show just anyone. If you're ready to be the kind of man who sees beneath behavior and honors what's human, not just what's desirable, like this video, subscribe and comment. I lead through awareness, not appetite. Stay present, stay principled, because true strength is revealed in how you hold what others hide.